What's up? Of course, it's your boy Richie Rich at Consumer Appliance Support. You already know, man, we review appliances. Today we're going to focus on the GE Profile UltraFast Washer and Dryer combination. This appliance, man, is one of the top of the line GE appliances right now on the market. I'm super excited about reviewing this appliance to find out exactly what can it do. You know, we're going to break down this appliance. We're going to talk about the functions and the features. We're going to talk about the price, how much it's going to cost you. We're going to talk about the warranty, and of course we're going to talk about the parts, how much it's going to cost you to repair this appliance, if it's out of warranty, if you got to pay out of pocket, how much it's going to cost you on average as far as the repair costs, and individual parts that typically go bad and how much you're going to spend if you need to repair it. And overall, we're going to give you our review to let you know exactly how we feel about this appliance, man. So let's get started. No longer waiting. Let's go. Functions and the features. All right, man, let's get into this joint, man. Like we said, GE Profile unit. You can actually see this unit right now. It's a washer and dryer in one. All right, so you're getting everything that you need in this appliance. We're going to go into the owner's manual, so I'm going to just let this video roll so that you can see some of the functions, you can see some of the features, and know exactly what you're getting yourself into as far as the load pattern, fabric types, and all this good stuff. Optimized performance. It's an amazing machine to look at from what we can see. So I'm just going to stop there, dive into the owner's manual. All right, you already know, man, when we start this joint, man, you gotta always go inside the owner's manual, starting from the safety information. It breaks down exactly everything you need, using the combo, care and clean, installation, of course, troubleshooting tips, limited warranty, and consumer support. All right, again, always make sure you read the safety information just to be safe. All right, so if you want to stop it, or you can check this out, all this is going to be in the description box. All right, so let's get into the joints. Get started. It says load, getting started. No load transfer. It says start a load before work, before you go to bed, or any time. When you choose wash plus dry, your work is done. It says the combo will wash and then gently dry your garment in just a couple hours. So you can go about your business. All right, so this is the benefit of this appliance, man. It's only going to take a couple hours for it to wash and dry. As far as the technology and all-in-one unit, this is not nothing unique. This is not nothing new. I know LG had a product like this as well, but theirs take about 4 to 6 hours to wash and dry. But GE's telling you it's going to take about 2 hours or a couple hours to do so. All right, so that's one of the I would say one of the benefits of using this GE appliance, because it can do it in such a short time. All right, so let's talk about clothes. May feel a little damp when the dry cycle ends, but they're actually dry. All right, so this is couple things that I want to do, at least do some reading about this, or house cleaning a little bit, just so you know exactly what's going on. It says because your combo dries clothes at low heat in a sealed drum, they may feel slightly damp or cool on first touch. Just take them out and shake them out, and they will feel dry in a few seconds. All right, so that's one thing there. It says wash plus dry a load in just a couple hours. That's something that we talked about there. It said times may adjust before and during cycles. All right, easy access, dual stage lint filter ensures high efficiency airflow. We're going to talk about that. Simple to use with plenty of option. Explore all the features, and this is where we are at. All right, so number one, talking about turning the power on. 2, check the filter, both sides. So you want to make sure you do that. Select wash plus dry if desired. You can choose to run a wash or dry only. All right, so you do have that option. Manually dose or use smart dispense after filling with detergent or softener. So you have that option there, and a lot of appliances are starting to do the smart dispense. So you'll be able to do that on the fabric softener side, or even on your detergent side. All right, depending on how it's made. When it's ready, tap the start button. All right, so that's pretty simple. If desired, check the Smart HQ app on your phone for notification to adjust options. So you have different options, and it is a smart appliance as well. You can always enable it by using the QR code here, using your cell phone, scan it, and you'll be able to get all that information. All right, so let's get started. This is how the display looks. You have your washing, your sensing dry, heavy, tap, cold, low. These are the cycle settings. It says the display shows the cycle option selected, the appropriate time remaining until the end of the cycle, and the cycle status of wash and dry modes. Pre-washing, washing, rinsing, spinning, drying, complete. Note, this says the cycle time is affected by how long it takes the combo to fill based on the water pressure in your home. Cycle time also adjusted based on potential rebalances which may be required to thoroughly spin out the wet load. And it says, and finally, for clothes with dry added, the combo will adjust the dryer time to achieve the desired final moisture content. It says if any out of balance condition is detected by the combo, the spin status light or spin option selection light will blink during the remaining portion of the cycle. It will stay illuminated for a short time after cycle completion. It says when this occurs, the combo is taking action to correct the out of balance condition. Complete the cycle normally. In some cases, the combo may not be able to balance the load and spin up to full speed. If you notice the load is more wet than usual at the end of the wash portion of the cycle, redistribute the load evenly in the wash basket and run a rinse and dry cycle. Alright, so these are a couple of things that you want to be aware of. We're going to go into this as well and teach you how to really load the appliance and understanding the benefits of loading the appliance, because it can throw the machine off balance. As you read here, the machine is smart enough to detect if it's off balance. It's going to do its best to try to get everything back on balance. But if it cannot do that, your machine will let you know. The lights will be illuminated, and also you'll notice your clothes are still a little bit wet. All right, because again, it's not going to spin at the speed that it needs to. So you just want to be careful when you're doing that. You might want to redistribute the load, and you can also select the rinse and dry cycle, and this is perfectly fine to do so. I don't want you to feel as though it's an issue with the appliance, it's not working up properly. Again, it could just been a user error issue. Yes, it could be an issue with the appliance, but for the appliance to be this new and you having issues like this is normally just getting familiar with it and understanding how it works and understanding how to load the clothes inside the washing machine as well. And you have different options that you can use at your disposal, so we suggest you use them. All right, so let's talk about the light ring. Will show a single LED next to the cycle you have selected until you start the cycle. It will then show a representative countdown of the total cycle, with the left half in blue tracing the wash cycle and the right half in magenta tracing the dry cycle. In addition, the light ring may indicate action to remind you to perform maintenance, show signal completion, Wi-Fi setup, or warning message. All right, so you got a couple things that you can see here as well. Wi-Fi, control lock, door, my settings, detergent with automatically dose from the smart display. You have the fabric softener with automatic dose from the smart dispenser. Alright, so this is how you can detect exactly the detergent dispenser according to the weight and soil level of the clothes and brand of product selected. You can adjust this feature to dose more or less detergent or turn it off to a manual dose. Alright, so it's up to you. Alright, so this is the great thing about this appliance. It's smart enough for you to be able to use it however you would like. And then you have the different options that you can choose from between the wash side and then of course the dry side as well. You also have washing options, dry options, smart dispense, smart softener, dispense softener, pre-wash, more water, remote start, extra rinse, drying options, times, de-wrinkle, wash complete, more dry, wrinkle care. Again, you have the normal, delicates, towels, bulky, sanitize with oxy, downloaded cycle, and that's something that I've noticed with LG first started that, and now this is something that GE is incorporating in their appliance as well, so we can talk about that. Active wear is probably talking about athletic wear, and when you go to the gym, when you work out. Quick cycle, you have your whites, rinse and dry, eco, cool, and self-clean. You also have your menu button, swirl, temperature, and spin as well. Alright, so we're going to get into this appliance, man, so that we can make this thing work. Let's get it. Alright, power. So it says press to wake up the display. If the display is active, press to put the combo into standby off mode. Note, pressing power does not disconnect the appliance from the power supply. Alright, that's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Wash/dry. By default, the combo selects a complete wash and dry for each cycle. You can choose to run a wash only by deselecting the dry button. Vice versa, you can choose to run a dryer only cycle by deselecting the wash button. If you start a wash only cycle, you can always add dry prior to the completion of the cycle. Alright, so this is an awesome appliance. You can either wash or you can dry, right? You can do both. Alright, so this is awesome that you can just use it however. Typically I will probably assume most people will probably get just the one thing and just use it as one. You wouldn't want to buy an all-in-one and then you go buy a separate dryer to do either that or a washer. I mean, like I said, it's up to you, but I guess it defeats the purpose in my opinion for you to have this and then try to get another appliance. It doesn't make sense, but either way, it's up to you. Start and pause, you already know, press start the cycle. If the combo is running, pressing it once will pause the combo and unlock the door. It may take a few seconds for the door to unlock. After pressing pause, press it again to restart the cycle. And that's good to really know, because again, depending on the weight of the I wouldn't even say the weight, it's normally detected on the water inside the machine. So if there's too much water inside of the tub, depending on again what part of the cycle that it's in, for your safety, it does not want you to open the machine when it's filled up all the way with all that water inside the machine. Alright, so you just want to be careful with that. So if the combo is paused with the door open, the cycle is not restarted within 15 minutes, the current cycle will be canceled. If the combo is paused with the door closed and the cycle is not started within 24 hours, the current cycle will be canceled. In both cases, the combo will drain the water in the tub after the cycle is canceled. Alright, so that's a couple things there. Another smart appliance. A lot of appliances do this as well. If it's just sitting there idle and not being used and not being restarted, then of course it would just drain whatever water is inside the machine and just shut itself off. Alright, that's some of the great benefit of these appliances that's smart enough to even do those things. Alright, so the combo will perform automatic system checks after pressing the start button. Water will flow in 45 seconds or less. You may hear the door lock and unlock, the pump activate before water flows. And these are some of the things that I want customers to really get familiar with when you're using your appliance, man. Because not all the time it's gonna act like the one that you had before. These machines are smart enough to be able to react depending on the sensor that's on the motor and the motion that it makes as it senses the load. Before it starts adding water to it, it has to go through these different processes just to make sure that the machine is checking appropriately and checking correctly according to the sensors on the motor and the communication with the control board and the weight inside the machine, right? So if all this stuff or any one of these are off, then it's going to trigger an error code or message, or it's going to cause your machine not to work properly. All right, so these are things to think about. Cycles. The cycles are designed for specific types of wash loads. The chart below will help you match the item to be washed with the cycle settings. It's for optimal performance. Select the cycle that most closely matches the items being washed. Delay start and remote start is available on all cycles. Alright, so that's awesome thing. You can set it for hours on end if you want. You can delay start it for 10 hours from now. Then of course it starts on its own. Then you have your remote start that you can actually use and start the machine from your smartphone. It is so amazing that you can do some awesome things with your smartphone and this appliance as well. It says when dry is also selected, the combo will deliver a low temperature sensing dry for the garments in the load after it has completed a tailored wash cycle. The drying process for all cycles are similar to each other as they are for a dryer only option. All right, so before we go into different things, you have the different cycles, right? So I don't want to really get into the cycle modes, all this stuff we can wait for when it's time to go into the actual tub. Let's see some of the things. We got different settings. Individual settings for soil levels, soil, water temperature, spin speeds can be set from a minimum to a maximum. It says changes made using these buttons are shown in the LCD display just below the cycle time. It says these settings only apply to the wash portion of the cycle and have no impact on drying. It says your soil, change the soil level, increase or decrease. So these are certain things that you can actually use. The wash time to remove difficult amounts of soils. It says to change the soil level, press the soil level button until you have reached the desired settings. You can choose between extra light, extra normal, heavy, or extra heavy soil levels on most cycles. You got your different temperatures. All right, so you got the temperature settings. You got tap cold, warm, hot, or extra hot on most cycles. by design to protect fabrics. Not all wash temperatures are available for certain cycles, and again, some of these are pre-programmed cycles, so when the cycles are pre-programmed, you cannot use them. You cannot use all the options, and this is where this appliance is giving you a lot more. I've talked to this previously in different videos that we've done. Extra hot means your traditional hot. Right, it says extra hot will use 100% hot water from your water supply. The combo does not heat the water. All right, and that's the benefit of having this. You have extra hot, which is 100% hot. Your tap cold is 100% cold. Like we said before, your appliance is trying to save energy, trying to save time. So a lot of the hot, where it says hot and cold, is not extremely hot. It's a mixture of hot and cold. So it's a little bit above warm when it's hot, and it's out, and when it's cold, of course, it's a little bit below warm when it's cold. All right, so that's the best way to look at it. So it's going to have a mixture of both, unless you actually want tap or extra hot. It says these settings apply to the wash portions of the cycle only. The temperature settings select the water temperature in wash, and do not change the air temperature for dry. Then you have a pre-wash. Rinse water is always cold to help reduce energy usage. All right, so that note, the first 10 seconds of the wash fills is always cold. This feature assists in conditioning the fabrics and preventing stains from getting on garments. And that's one of the things, like I said, your machine is smart enough to know, depending on the fabric, you know, how it doesn't really want to damage your fabric or damage your clothes. So they're considering all these different things while your clothes is washing. And that's one of the things where I really like about these modern day appliances. Even though the older ones, in my opinion, last a lot longer because they're a lot bulkier, they're a lot bigger and a lot heavier. The newer ones are smart enough to say, hey, this is too heavy, I'm gonna give you a code. I'm gonna add cold water to the setting because we don't really want to mess up your fabric. We're going to use different water temperatures, again, not to mess up your fabric on your clothes, and protect it, because we understand how important some of our garments are. So you have so many different options, you sensing and different things that you can do. Remote start that's being added. Downloading your own cycle, however you like, your favorite cycles that you like to use. So you just got to press those. So you have so many different options that you can choose from when you're using these appliances. That's what makes them that much more better than the ones that we had previously. All right, so to change the spin speed, press the spin speed, which is no spin, low, medium, high, or max. All right, it says not available in certain cycles such as delicates and active wear. And these are things that you got to think about. If you're trying to have delicates clothes, then you don't really want to wear them out too much. You also have the it says note the combo will still do a spin if dry is requested on the wash cycle, in which no speed is selected. The combo features dynamic balancing technology system. This patented onboard sensing technology enables real-time balancing of the spin cycle for each load, saving time and providing a quiet wash. This should lead to more consistent wash times and or variable reduction in noise and vibration. If the combo should experience any excessive noise, vibration, or shaking, simply pause the combo, open the door, manually redistribute the load before restarting the cycle. All right, so that's some good awesome there. We can get into this dispenser, but I'm gonna really get into here. I think it's important to really talk about the cycles a little bit so you know exactly how to wash your clothes, where to put them at. So these are a couple things that we can look at as well. So I can dive into this, and then we're gonna, let you see the rest of the video. It says cycle continues, storing my settings, favorite options. All right, it says to save settings for any cycle, press and hold the cycle name after adjusting the combo to your desired options, and before you hit start. It says that will store your favorite settings, and you will see a heart icon at the top left on the display at the time and whenever that cycle is selected in the future. It says this will now be your store my setting for that cycle unless you choose to store new settings. All right, so that's just it. All right, cycle. Recommended items. All right, so it says cycle for normal, regular, typical use for washing or drying up to a full load of normal soiled cotton clothing. All right, let's talk about it. Washing. Energy Star certification is tested on the normal cycle, wash and wash only, soil level default normal. All right, so this is what it is. Wash only. You will see the button that says wash only on the display. Note, energy dry certification is tested on normal cycle, sensor, and dry only. Alright, so that if you want to dry only. Energy savings will vary across loads and cycles. To be honest with you, I do not like this energy saving mode, especially on your dryer. When you're using your energy saving mode on any dryer, it does not heat up as hot as it needs to on a normal cycle. So there's times where you put a normal load on it and it doesn't get dry enough. So my suggestion is taking the energy saving mode off. Even though you want to save energy, the machine is already energy efficient anyway. But they're adding this feature, but in my opinion, it does no good. I've been to different customers' homes all the time where they're stating my dryer is not heating up. That's the first thing I check. Is it on energy saver mode? Because it does not put out enough power or heat to dry the clothes that's in there, because again, you have the energy saving mode selected. All right, so when we're talking about delicates, lingerie, special care fabrics with light soil, towels, sheets. So I'm gonna just pause this there. And I'm gonna just get to the video, because the video is gonna really get into the size of the appliance so you can be able to see that interior. So this is what the appliance look like. It looks amazing. Like I said, I like the color. They're probably gonna come in maybe, you know, different colors from here and there. So here's the cycle settings. This is exactly how it look when you're in the store, when you're looking at the appliance, or when you have it at home. All right, so I like the decal, I like the colors. It's big display, big enough for you to see everything. It's real simple, and that's one of the things I like about the appliance. I like things that are extremely simple for you to use. When you press a button, it reacts that way. When you hit start, it reacts that way. There's not a lot of force on the buttons that you got to keep pressing it. So as long as it's operating that way, it's smooth. It's not a lot of issues. I really, really like it. All right, so let that joint keep going. Like I said, we talked about all them settings there as well. I'm just gonna let this rock. 6-piece towel set, 2 hours 19 minutes. All right, it is a large capacity unit as well. All right, so you can wash 6 pieces of towels in 2 hours and 19 minutes. Like I said, that's pretty good in comparison to the other models that's out there that takes 4 to 6 hours to wash and dry. All right, so 10 pound of mixed load, an hour and 56 minutes. All right, so it depends. 1 king size comforter, 2 hours to 37 minutes. Like I said, that's not bad. It normally takes about that long for you to wash it and dry it anyway. So it's with the one product, one appliance that's doing the same thing, and it's good enough for space. And that's one of the things I want you to notice here as you're looking at the video. The space that you have, right, that you create just by having this one appliance. All right, and then it looks good. I like the way it looks. This is the interior of the unit. This is the tub, stainless steel drum, stainless steel tub. I know there's gonna probably be a problem if you need to get this repaired. As technicians, we're always looking at things of like, man, what happens if it breaks? Where it's located at makes a big difference. Also in the price and how you get stuff done. If it's difficult for a tech to pull it out, man, you're gonna pay for it, or you're gonna have to find somebody to pull it out in order for him to work on it. So yeah, I like that. I'm just let that sit. We just look at that. So let's dive into some of these cycles, right? So we talked about delicates earlier. You got your towels, right? This is your towel setting for sheets, pillowcases, and dish rags. All right, you got bulky bedding, which is your comforters, large coats, bedspread, mattress covers, sleeping bags, stuff like that. Sanitize with Oxy is a heavily soiled, color fast item with the need for sanitation. So it cannot be used for sensor dry only or time dry cycles. All right, that's one of the things you guys got to be careful with this Oxy stuff, man, because it does affect your clothes. I've had a customer that used Oxy for so long that when she stopped using it for a couple months, it started to have bleach stains on her clothes, and she has not used it. It was difficult for it to stop. I don't even know if it ended up stopping because we weren't able to fix it. Told her to use the clean cycle every couple weeks to help, but it still was just giving bleach stains, man. So you just got to be careful when you're doing stuff like that. Active wear, you're talking about medium to soil athletic wears for technical or synthetic fabrics. So you know, when you're working out and all that type of stuff, you got athletes in your home. For you parents and stuff like that, you know, that's the best cycle to use to wash your stuff. Quick cycle, small loads of lightly soiled items that are needed in a hurry. And when using a quick cycle, you gotta be careful with the load. Does not mean because it's a quick cycle it's a normal cycle, right? Because it doesn't handle the same weight. So you want to use small. Whites is whites and household linens, which is fine, pretty straightforward. Rinse and dry for items that need only to be rinsed and not washed. This cycle gives up 2 versions when dry is selected: rinse and dry, or drain and dry. With extra rinse is deselected. It gives you 2 additional versions when dry is deselected: rinse and spin and drain and spin. Alright, so you do have options to choose from. Eco Cool is a cycle for normal, regular, or typical use for washing up for a full load of normally sold cotton clothing. Downloaders says use the Smart HQ app to download a special cycle for combo. You got cycle for power clean. This is something that you gotta do all the time. Do the power clean setting, man. For heavily sold items which require extra cleaning power. Oh, I thought it was the self clean, my bad. So the power clean gives you more heavier clean. Alright, so that's pretty good, a really good option. I know they had it on the other appliances that they had as well. So I reviewed GE washing machines before, and they had a power clean setting. Jeans with minimum to light soil. Alright, so you want to be able to do that. Swimwear with medium to light soil. Airflow provides 15 minutes up to 4 hours if desired for tumbling time with recycled filtered air and no heat. Alright, so it's gonna spin, and the heating element is not gonna come on, but it's just gonna be an airflow, and you can do it for 4 hours. De-wrinkled and self-clean. This is a cycle designed to reduce wrinkles from a small load that is dry or slightly damp. Cleaning the basket of residue and odor. No clothes are to be washed using this cycle. Alright, so of course you want to take the clothes out, and you want to do this every 30 loads. I would say once a month. Alright, so you want to be able to clean the machine. Notes, it says the sanitize with oxy cycles water temperatures cannot be changed. The cycle, when using an oxy additive along with your detergent, is designed to remove 99% of bacteria found in home laundry. Measure the detergent and the oxy product carefully, using the amounts appropriate for a large heavy soil load in a front load unit. Follow the detergent and oxy product label instructions. Said the combo's hot water supply connection must provide a minimum of 120 degrees Fahrenheit to ensure the effectiveness of this cycle. Alright, the wash portion of the sanitize with oxy cycle has been designed and tested NFS protocol P172. Alright, available through download cycles. Alright, so if you look at the star, that's what that means. You can download these cycles. These cycles are added through the download cycle. Alright, and this is where we're talking about these cycle options, right? Going into what takes place here. Normal. Some of these cycles are already preset. Some of them you might be able to change. So I can just read this chart. It says the cycles are optimized for specific types of loads. The chart below will help you match the items to be laundered with the best cycle setting. Hope I pronounced that properly, but either way, keep it moving. For optimal performance, select the cycle that most closely matches the items in your load. Delay start and remote start is available on all cycles. Alright, so there you go. Wash settings. Alright, so you can always do that. And then you got your dry settings. Alright, so some of the dots is available settings. The star, of course, is available download setting, is something that we looked at. The circle, of course, here is available on wash plus dry, but not wash only. Then the double. So these are the factory default settings that you can look at as well. Right, not available when time dry is selected. Available on wash plus dry and wash only. Not available on sensor dry only or time dry only. Alright, so these are some of the settings that you got to look at. Alright, so awesome. We talked about the soil, we talked about the temperature. So we're gonna let the video rock, man, and see what we got. See what we got in this video. Like I said, we love the appliance wash plus dry. This is the door gasket. Again, you want to leave the door open. I thought GE would have had the fan on this particular one. The vent that they have with the fan on some of the models. But my suggestion, again, of course, you want to leave the door open and let fresh air hit the gasket. You do want to clean it, I would say once a month as you do the tub clean. You can use a mixture of bleach and water, or you can use some of the washing machine cleaner that you're using to help wipe around the gasket so it doesn't develop mold. So you want to do that. All right, so that is a good option there. All right, so like I'm pulling on it now. We do have a video on our YouTube channel, so check that video out to show you how to clean it. All right, so this is your dispenser and all this good old stuff here. So we can let that rock for a little bit. So you have the smart dispenser and you have the fabric softener. So you can see the options that you have there. It says smart dispense, fill up to 50 ounces of detergent. All right, so that's just where that is there. You lift up the top there like we did, pour it in there. You do have your liquid bleach and you have your fabric softener. So this is just like your manual setting on this side. All right, so then you have liquid detergent only. It says lip flap up for powder. All right, so if you have powder, then you have the softener, right? So you have the same softener, smart dispense as well. You just lift that up and put 32 ounces in there. All right, so we're gonna go to the owner's manual just to talk about this for a second. Smart dispenser detergent. This says when selected, this feature would automatically add detergent to the washer based on the load size, eliminating the need to add detergent for each load. So it does it for you automatically. That's why I said, man, this appliance got a lot going on for it. Multi-tapping this button will step through dosing levels of auto, more and less. It says levels are visualized on the LCD screen, and the LED indicator next to the button will be on and off. It says an off level shows off on the LCD, and LED indicator will be off. All right, it says the combo also have adaptive smart dispense capability through the Smart HQ app. So with this enhancement, you can select the specific type of detergent, and in addition to using load side information, it will adjust the dosage based on the detergent manufacturer's recommendation. All right, so we got smart dispense, which is, again, you got this great option. So when selecting this feature, will automatically add softener to the final rinse based on the load size, eliminating the need to add softener for each load. Multi-tapping this button will step through dosing levels of auto, more and less. All right, it says levels visualized on the LCD, and the LED indicator will be on and off. It says level shows off on LED, and LCD and LED indicator will be off. The combo also has adaptive smart dispense capability through the Smart HQ app. All right, so a lot of this stuff is through the app. You have pre-wash as well. Pre-wash is an extra wash before the main wash. All right, so use it for heavily soiled clothes or for clothes with a care label that's recommended pre-washing before washing. All right, you have different notes that you can read. It says detergent from pre-wash can only use detergent from the Smart Dispense detergent tank. All right, pre-wash must be selected prior to pressing start. So this is something that you want to do. The pre-wash feature will fill the combo. Adding the pre-wash detergent tumbles the clothes, drain, and spin. Note, in some special cycles, pre-wash is selected automatically as the default. You can add more water. It says this option adds up to approximately 3 gallons to wash and rinse portion of the cycle. It says if the option is selected before the cycle starts, the water will be added from the beginning of the cycle and later to the rinse if the option is selected during the wash portion. More water will be added at this point and later to the rinse. Likewise, if the more water option is selected after the wash portion has completed. The combo will add more water to the rinse only. If wash and rinse have completed, the more water button will no longer be active. All right, so that's something that I'm quite familiar with, in the sense of seeing it on other appliances, adding more water outside of the top load washing machines that allows you to do like a deep fill option. But this is, I guess, their version of doing a deep fill, because you can only fill it up so much with it being a front load washing machine. But that is a good option, because like I said, you want to feel as though your clothes is being washed properly, with the amount of water that you actually see that your clothes is mixed in as it's operating and spinning and washing as well. So you want to be able to see that. All right, so I like that feature. That stands out a lot. We talked about the remote start. It's a smart appliance as well. I've noticed that most customers do not use this feature. you know, most people just want their clothes to wash, but it is an added feature. It is an awesome feature that you can use, especially if you're upstairs and you got to deal with kids. I've had a customer that had the remote start option on her oven, and she loves it. She had 2 newborn kids, so as she was upstairs, she can preheat the oven, and whenever she can, you know, look at her phone and it's telling her it's preheated. There's so many options that she can do while she's upstairs maintaining and making sure that the babies are all right. So I did find a customer that really liked the remote start options. Even though that was on an oven, I'm sure if she was to get this, she'll love this as well. All right, extra rinse. It says this option allows for an extra rinse during a cycle to remove excess dirt and detergent from the soil loads. All right, so these are like washer options, control lock, right? Dry options, right? It says time dry. It says toggles off sensor dry. By default, the combo will always use the sensor dry function whenever dry is selected as part of a cycle. Sensor dry will end the drying cycle when the combo detects that your clothes are dry. You can choose to select a time dry instead. By selecting the time dry option, it says since you are choosing the exact drying time, the cycle will end at the prescribed time regardless of the dryness level of the load. All right, and that's what it is. That's the difference between time dry and sensing dry. Time dry, if it says 50 minutes, it's going to dry for 50 minutes. Sensing dry, you put it on 50 minutes. If it's done in 30, it's done in 30. If it's done in you set it for 50 and it's done in 30, then it's going to shut off for the 30 and not run the whole 50. All right, de-wrinkle feature is a dedicated 35-minute time dry cycle that introduce a small amount of water vapor onto the garments and use heat and high-speed air to assist the wrinkling the garments. It is designed for loads of 1 to 8 light to medium weight garments. All right, so it's not really a full load, but again, it's a good option to use, right? Your clothes don't get wrinkled. All right, so that's an amazing feature to use. Throw a shirt in there, you feel as though, you know, you don't really want to iron it or you don't want to get your shirt wrinkled. That's cool. Wash complete, and let you know when the wash is done to receive an audible alert at the machine via the smart HQ. So this is where your smart HQ is coming in. More dry, so select the option to extend the drying time by 20 minutes at the end of the sensor dry to achieve a greater degree of dryness of the load. You got your sound, you got your wrinkle care. Right, select this option to tumble clothes at the end of the cycle for a wash only cycle. The clothes will tumble intermittently for a period of 8 hours to keep the clothes fresher, less prone to setting in wrinkles. All right, so that's probably, you know, you got the de-wrinkle, but I would probably use the wrinkle. You know, you don't want to add the water to it if you don't want, and it goes up to 8 hours, so I'll probably use that. All right, so you got your light, right? The basket has a light and everything else. So this is your option. Using the combo, the detergent, softener, AI active to turn the feature on to enable certain AI features like adapting my sensing, or as other AI features become available. All right, animations, brightness, delay start, eco dry. So a lot of these different options are coming in when you're using the menu options. All right, so this is where it's at here. Wi-Fi connected, wash and dry times, low sound, English as far as the language, help, eco dry, delay start, brightness, animations, AI, softener, detergent. So these are a lot of your menu options that you can choose from when you have in this appliance. That's why I said this appliance is so loaded with stuff. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. All right, so let's let this rock for a second, man. Like I said, from the looks of it and the features on here, you already kind of know what grade we're giving it, but we're not going to give it out yet. So you got your filter here as well. Right, so you got multiple filters that you can use and clean out there. So I'm just going to show you guys about the filter so that you can actually see that. Right, pull that out. That's how you really do it. That's inside of the filter, right? So giving you exact look of what it looks like on the inside. I like that. Let me pause that for a second so I can see if I can get some information on that. All right, so right, we at the filter. Exterior, immediately wipe off any spills. Wipe or dust spills on washing combos with damp clothes. Compound, control panel, and finishes may be damaged by some laundry pre-treated and stained. Removal products. It says interior, clean around the combo doors, opening, flex flexible gasket, including attached hoses and door glass. So these are certain things that you can do. Filter compartments and filters. So we showed you as far as inside the video that you can see the tab. You can press on the tab to remove it. One of the common issues that happens to dryers, man, is like when you're trying to use it, or the common issue as far as the primary reason why a dryer goes bad, or is heating element doesn't work, or it's not heating up properly. The number one issue is because it's clogged up with lint. So you want to make sure you remove that lint, clean the filter, clean the lint as often as you can. It says here you want to vacuum the lint, a filter from the frame inside the filter opening if you notice any change in your dryer performance. Like I said, it's like handing my hand over my mouth. You can't really hear me, right? Or you can't breathe if you have a mask on. That's the same exact way the dryer works. Causes your unit to overheat. The cycles are a lot shorter than what it needs to be. So if the cycles are shorter, then it allows it to run that much longer, and that's when you're going to have your issue, and that's when it could catch on fire. So you just want to be super careful with that. Alright, so as you can see, man, we're coming to the end of the video. We're coming to the end of the function and features. Couple things that you can look at is cleaning the pump and the filter. Alright, so you want to do that. So all of this is going to be in the owner's manual as well, and it's going to teach you how to clean the gasket, man. Alright, so of course you already know, man, I'm your boy Richie Rich. Functions and the features, man. This appliance is amazing when we're talking about functions and features, but we still got a lot of work to do in the lab, man. So hang in there with your boy. You already know I am out.
Motherfucker, I've been mortified, fortified, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of my die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them niggas slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war. Tell that nigga he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, now niggas doing dope lines. Don't run into the cops, that's a big exercise. Don't run into the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood, now sounding like vibrato. Why you eat bread with avocado?